They don't mind blood in the streets. They don't mind riots. They don't mind cops getting hit in the head with bottles. It's like this. You ever watch The Incredibles? I have 2 little kids, so we watch The Incredibles. The Incredibles, one of the guys, the bad guy, the supervillain, wants to be a superhero. So he creates a giant monster and unleashes it on the city. And guess who's the only one that knows how to stop him? Him. That's this. It's an ingenious system that I think these politicians now find themselves trapped in. If they don't, I don't think that Joe Biden wants to live in a communist country. I don't. But he's willing to use these people for power. If these people move, what happens? These people have to clamp down. They have to become a more and more aggressive government. Well, that's what these people want. They want the system to break apart and transform into something they control because they are already inside. They are already the man. If the country, if the government becomes oppressive, they're here. You're here. The theme of this progressive conference was, "We are the change." And it's best summed up on the group's website. Here's what it says. There is also the hard-won realization that once again, American history is repeating itself, and make no mistake, it is. And that in the end, presidents do not create social urgency. Even presidents with Obama's gift for painting a broad progressive vision. But independent movements do. And anyone who supports President Obama can do that by making him do the right thing. Remember, they don't want anarchy just for anarchy. No, they don't mind it. They don't mind the violence. The more violent the revolutionaries become, the politicians will move farther and farther because you will beg them for it. Keep us safe. Keep us safe. They already are doing it. They already are trying to take away your rights to privacy on the phone and the email under the guise that they're going after the bombers. They are creating a trap. And it's these guys, and I think these guys are trapped just as well. If Obama takes power, they win. If he doesn't, the radicals cause chaos and violence. Obama takes power, and they win. This is from the America's Future Now. Ready? Progressives have grown ever more disappointed. The reforms were both historic and insufficient to the cause. The recovery plan was too small. The health care plan was dangerously compromised. Financial reform is too timid. Even the student aid was overwhelmed by the soaring tuitions and severe cuts in programs in the universities. Wall Street was rescued while the unemployment rose to 10%. Let's take a couple of these things. The recovery plan was too small. $787 billion. It makes the stimulus package, this one stimulus package, the 17th largest economy in the world. Financial reform is too timid. Really? Controlling 70% of the economy is timid? Wow, what is aggressive in these people's world? I saw a headline on the Business Insider. It said, in 2010, the U.S. government is projected to issue almost as much new debt as the rest of the governments of the world combined. Do you have any concept of how big that is? The CEO of Green for All, here she is. She's a big player in Crime Inc. She sits on the board of Emerald Cities. She spoke at this America's Future Now. Here's what she had to say when she brought up my name.
So when Glenn Beck started talking about me, someone said, "Are you angry?" And what I said to him is, absolutely, we have a plot to take over this country. Absolutely we do. It's not a hidden agenda.
No, it's not. It's not. Nope. It's right out in the open. And she's just like you. She is. She's just like you. Yeah. She's just like the American family of the 1950s. See, this is what it is. The crazy people, the people just like you and the man. See what's happening? They do have a plot, a plan to take over the country. And the mask is coming off. But will anyone join us in this conversation out in the light of day? I mean, it would have been helpful before we passed health care. Another speaker noted that Larry Summers, Tim Geithner, Rahm Emanuel are not part of the movement. No, they see them, again, the revolutionaries, see these guys as part of the problem. Now that's saying something. When the guys who are leading the government's current march to power are considered part of the problem, because those guys are slowing things down. What do you do? What do you do? Well, the first thing, America, you have to look at what the revolutionaries actually believe and admit it to yourself. Did anyone know that last month the Communist Party USA's 29th annual convention was held? Last month. Well, big deal. So what? So the Communist Party had a... It was held and it was shown on C-SPAN. Well, they were very excited about all the progress they're making, not necessarily in Washington, but also exactly about the progress being made on the ground. The party chair, Sam Webb, he's been on this program before. In the website, he said, not since the Great Depression have so many Americans been so easy and so angry that increasingly working people are turning their anger into organized and collective rage against the crisis. Where have I read that? The coming insurrection, that's right. He cites a few examples of that rage. Watch.
Union workers at Hugo Boss in Ohio prevented their plant from closing, also with the help of the actor Danny Glover. Big victory. Opposition to Arizona's draconian unconstitutional immigration laws is mushrooming there and elsewhere around the country. The student mobilizations on the University of California campuses against cutbacks and tuition hikes were very, very impressive. Labor's May Day marches struck a high note in a number of cities, including in New York, down on Wall Street.
I have some things that you need to see tonight. I have some video that I don't think you've seen before of what happens if they get power. Because, see, they've had this plan for a very long time. What happens if they get power? And what is this? Last night, GlennBeck.com crashed. I don't think that's ever happened before. When I said, go get a copy of this and read this, I posted it on my website. Reclaiming Revolution. There it is. Reclaiming Revolution. This is Storm, an organization started by Van Jones. I've told you about this before. It was started in 1994, but I told you about it a year ago, and nobody wanted to listen, nobody wanted to pay attention. It's their manual, and I will show you the manual, and video you have not seen yet, most likely. Next. I want you to understand something, America, that what I'm trying to get across is there's a difference. I started to write in the break, I ran out of time. These are the people that just believe in getting reelected. These are the revolutionaries, and there's a difference, and they're both using each other. And there is a shift coming. They've been hiding, but no longer. Van Jones, I showed this to you a year ago, maybe over a year ago, and I don't know. I told you about it again yesterday, and we crashed the website at glennbeck.com. It's available there. Please read it. This is the manual, the Revolutionary Manual. This was published in the spring of 2004. It is an organization called Storm. It was co-founded by Van Jones. Okay? What they wanted was to enact communist policies through the use of militant street action. This is their manual. Okay? Please read it. Published spring 2004. Van Jones co-founded this organization. When did the change come? He said in this, revolutionaries need to be militant in street actions. As leaders in the fight for liberation, we should be role models of fearlessness before the state and the oppressor. When did he put the tie on and go to Washington and say it's no longer the state is the oppressor?